Barely has John Wick Chapter 4 hit theaters, then everyone is already wondering if the assassin portrayed by Keanu Reeves will make a comeback anytime soon. Spoiler alert, this video reveals plot elements from John Wick 4. Seeing Keanu Reeves play a chiropractor using nunchucks and assault rifles seems to be an endless pleasure, especially when coupled with the talent and passion of director stuntman Chad Stahelski. The John Wick saga has found the formula for happiness for any fan of 100% action blockbusters. But after John Wick 4, is there a fifth installment planned? During the pandemic in August 2020, director Chad Stahelski had revealed plans to shoot both the fourth and fifth installments of the popular franchise back to back. However, in March 2021, Lionsgate Studios decided to put a possible John Wick 5 on hold and prioritize Chapter 4. Later, in May 2022, the director reassured fans that a fifth movie was still a possibility. So what's the current status? Since its initial release in October 2014, John Wick has surpassed all expectations. The story of a widower seeking vengeance for his dog staff has become an unexpected success, with the franchise grossing a total of $587 million worldwide over the course of 3 feature films. This was achieved with a production budget of only $135 million, which is a significant accomplishment that has brought relief to producers and studios worried about the future of cinema in the wake of the pandemic. Is John Wick dead or not? Now the creators of the series are speaking out. The first stir was caused by director Chad Stahelski. He revealed to the Collider website that 2 ending scenes were originally shot for John Wick 4. The alternative version suggests that John Wick may have survived the serious gunshot wound, but the version with weak staff tested better with audiences and ended up in the final film. But you can certainly interpret the ending in different ways. After all, there is never a body or a funeral shown for John Wick. He takes his last breath, cut, and we see a gravestone. A lot can happen in between. When asked about the possibility of a sequel to John Wick 4, the director of all the franchise's films, Chad Stahelski, admitted to Deadline on March 26 that he wants the saga to continue. As far as John Wick goes, you'll never hear Keanu or myself say, "It's over. We are proud of what we have done. We are flattered that the audience wants more, and we want to keep it going. So we'll be there to help." Lionsgate will decide what to do with the franchise. I'd like to stay involved in every aspect of John Wick. It's fun for me. We have made 4 of them because we love this world. It gives us a lot of freedom. And while these words are reassuring, the president of Lionsgate Motion Picture Group, Joe Drake, told The Hollywood Reporter on March 27 that a John Wick 5 was possible, but not certain. There is a will and there is a way, and you could certainly interpret that ending in different ways. We are all going to take a little break here, and when we'll ask ourselves if there is a credible way to launch a 5th chapter, but there is no guarantee. The films have already grossed over $700 million, so it's not surprising that the producers would have no objections to a John Wick 5. But how can this be possible after the death of the title character? Assuming that John Wick isn't dead, but rather lounging on a beach, the explanation of how he is found needs to be addressed. With all the money he's accumulated, as well as his numerous contacts, he shouldn't have any trouble disappearing and becoming George the friendly neighbor who hosts barbecues. In fact, his pursuit could make for an excellent thriller, where we follow his avenging assassin until the final confrontation with a retired John Wick. On the other hand, knowing who will get their hands on the Baba Yaga should be quite easy. Indeed, the suit-wearing Punisher has probably killed a member of every criminal family in the world, and must therefore possess a colossal list of enemies. And perhaps the trickiest part of this sequel will be finding a true antagonist for John Wick, a flaw that is present in several films in the franchise. So what do we know about the casting of John Wick 5? It can be assumed that Keanu Reeves will reprise the role of Baba Yaga in John Wick 5, since the name of the character is the same as the franchise. However, the actor has not been as categorical, as he explained to Entertainment Weekly on March 29, 2023. For me, it really rings true that John Wick has finally found peace. But never say never. In any case, I wouldn't do a John Wick movie without Chad Stahelski. We would both have to see what a sequel could look like. However, if John Wick is there, it is highly likely that he can count on his longtime allies, namely the Bowery King and Winston, respectively played by Lawrence Fishburne and Ian McShane. Otherwise, since the franchise enjoys bringing together stars of international action cinema, it is conceivable that other big names will join the future of the franchise. Although we anticipated seeing John Wick relaxing with a drink in a tropical paradise, who knows what paradise he is in? Winston Duke suggests in the final scene. The post-credits scene instead features Donnie Yen. Freed from his contract, he travels to Paris to find his daughter, who performs as a street violinist at the opera. However, he encounters Akira, the daughter of Shimazu Koji, the manager of the Osaka Continental, who he had killed at the beginning of the movie. She seeks revenge. The scene ends before the duel's outcome is revealed. Donnie Yen could potentially win, but Rina Sawayama, who delivered a convincing performance in the film, is a safer bet. She will undoubtedly seek to avenge her father's death, indirectly caused by John Wick's arrival in Osaka. Matting Mr. Nobody, portrayed by Shamir Anderson, is expected to make a return. Although he spared and even aided John Wick, his initial objective was to eliminate him. Furthermore, we saw in his notebook that he had an idea in mind, which will undoubtedly be explored in the next installment. Finally, John Wick 5 could tell us more about the High Table, of which the Marquis de Gramont was only one representative among others, and about John Wick's past. As we learned in the third movie, he was born in Belarus during the Soviet era, and his real name is Jordani Jovanovic. We would like to know more, and in particular why and how he left Ruska Roma for this famous High Table. It remains to be seen if the fifth movie will see the light of day, or if we have really seen the end of John Wick. Naturally, director Chad Stahelski was asked by all journalists if the continuation of the John Wick franchise depended on the comeback of the hitman in a fifth movie. His answer leaves no room for interpretation and a lot of hope. We are going to let John Wick rest for a bit. I'm sure the studios have strategy, explained the filmmaker in the pages of The Hollywood Reporter. If moviegoers enjoy Chapter 4 and the success is there, we'll take some time to reflect. You know, the John Wick movies always come out last in Japan with a 3-month delay. If it's the same this time around, we'll go on a promotional tour to Japan for the September release. Keanu and I will go to Tokyo, sit at the bar at the Imperial Hotel and ask ourselves the question. We'll have some 20-year-old whiskeys and jot down some ideas on napkins. If those ideas stick, we may make a movie. So there is definitely talk about John Wick 5. Although Keanu Reeves is almost 60, there is no doubt about his fitness after the stunts from Chapter 4. Keanu is so popular and so is the character. He definitely has that in mind, says Drake. That's why John Wick will also have a guest appearance in the Ballerina spin-off. Whether John Wick is dead or not, the hope for a sequel is famously the last thing to die among fans. There is no release date for John Wick 5 at the moment, and it is expected that fans will have to be patient. It should be noted that there is a 4-year gap between John Wick Parabellum and John Wick Chapter 4, and currently a fifth film has not yet been officially confirmed, so the resurrection of John Wick is not happening anytime soon. That's all for today. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next one.